half the cities have decriminalized drugs, and that's fine. I'm not here to make an argument about whether or not they should criminalize or decriminalize drugs. But we have a view on drugs where it's like, well, it's not really a big deal. Well, kids smoke weed. They smoke weed sometimes. You know what I mean? Kids drink. Kids get drunk every once in a while. Other countries don't see it like this. And as proof, I want to show you, this is what a father in Turkey has done whenever he got a hold of his daughter's phone. He started texting. He got in and found out, he looked at the language of the text messages and found out who her pot dealer was, and then got a hold of him and said, well, hey, let's meet up, you know? And then he beat the shit out of him. So, and that's where we're going to pick this up right here, is he's just beat the shit out of this man.
Anama götür bu uyuşturucuyu. Yürü! Kalk ayağa! Kalk gebertirim seni burada bak. Polise götürmem burada gömerim. Uyuşturucu satarsın millete ha? Millete uyuşturucu satarsın ha? Milletin karısına kızma uyuşturucu.
So, as you can see, homie's already lumped up, right? He's already bleeding, lumped up. Obviously, dude's whooped him enough that he's not putting up any sort of resistance. And this is weed. This is what happened whenever dude found out that this guy was selling his daughter weed.
Burada gebertirim. Abi yürümeye mecalim kalmadı. Kalk burada yat. Keserim seni.
Okay, well, I got this story off of Reddit. I got this video off of Reddit. And the overwhelming consensus in the comments is they said, we know this isn't hard drugs. This dude wasn't selling hard drugs. And the reason we know that this dude wasn't selling hard drugs is because he probably would have killed him. Because if you catch somebody selling cocaine to your daughter or heroin to your daughter in Turkey, you could kill them. You just bash them out, and that's it. So this is how they react. He goes, their overwhelming consensus was this was a weed reaction, a weed or a hash reaction. This was not a cocaine. This was not a heroin reaction, because it's bad. It's the death sentence. They can absolutely give you the death sentence in Turkey for selling hard drugs. So think about this dynamic, and think about how the world is, and think about how America is. Brittany Griner has been going to Russia for years. She knows the drill. She's been in and out of Russia numerous times. This is her trip. If I was going to guess, I'd say she'd been bringing weed into Russia for years, and this is the first time she got caught. If I had to guess about the situation, what do you guys think? Or was this the first time? Because it's never, as far as I'm concerned, it's never the first time. Whenever I got caught committing a crime, it was never the first time. But that's some people's story. But it was always like the 30th time before I got caught. You know, and that's what happens is after the first time you're really careful, and then the second time, you know, you're not quite as careful, and then it keeps progressing. And then before you know it, you're like driving around in a stolen car with a gun and some dope, and you're like, oh yeah, it's just Tuesday, this is normal, this is what we do, we sell dope like this, and it's ridiculous. And it's the boiling frog.
Ya polis şurası zaten. Abi bir ara verelim. Ya abi vallahi mecalim kalmadı. Evet. Lan. Kısa. Abinin kızına uyuşturucu satmış. Ne bileyim burada ya.
I believe Brittany Griner has been bringing marijuana into Russia for years. She finally got busted. I'm sure she knew how. She probably knew how, right? Because once you do things a couple times, you notice the weaknesses in the system. Once you travel to a country, you'll notice all the weaknesses. Oh, well, they didn't actually pat me down, or they didn't actually go through my bag, or they just opened the bag up and looked in it. They didn't rifle through it, right? Or they went through the bag, but they didn't go into the individual wallets. They didn't go into my shaving case. You know what I mean? So you go in and you see, I don't know, but it looked like it came out in a package anyway, but that's neither here nor there. My point is, the rest of the world don't see weed like we do. This dude just got his ass beat for selling weed, right? And they said they'd have killed him if it was anything harder. The rest of the world, but we want the rest of the world to conform to what the fuck we think is right. There's a whole bunch of countries that think that drugs are a social fucking poison. And it's like common sense to them. That they're like, no, we wouldn't allow that. What are you fucking doing? We'll give you a death sentence. If we catch you with heroin, we'll just give you a Singapore. We'll just give you a death sentence. Fucking Thailand. Shit like that. We'll just give you a death sentence. Right? We got to think about this whenever we move through the world. And we got to think about this whenever we're dealing with this Brittany Griner situation. Because weed is not accepted everywhere. Drugs are not accepted everywhere. Homosexuality is not accepted everywhere. Despite how evil they'll tell you whenever you turn on the TV, they'll tell you how bigoted and homophobic this country is. This country is the most tolerant fucking place around, pretty much, you know? And the rest of the world is not tolerant of this shit. So, use your head.